Hey everyone, what's up? This is Blaze. Welcome to my video on how the new jewel stats work in Wizard 101. So people have been asking me, questions about this, and I'm sure there's some people that don't completely understand how the new jewel system works with the stats and all that kind of stuff. So this video, I'm just making a quick video, kind of explaining this kind of thing. So with the new update, we got some new, like a new row underneath our normal damage and resistance rows. And what this row is basically a new number that tells you what the flat stat is for these jewels. And this will be added together for like damage jewels or resistance jewels. So currently on my storm, I have plus 39 on my damage. So what this is I have two jewels. Let me see if I can find them here. One of them gives 18 and the other one gives 21. So 18 plus 21 will give you 39, and then that 39 adds to my overall storm damage. And what this is it's an additional 39 damage, just straight up 39 damage to my 116%. So this 39 isn't a percent, it's just 39 extra damage. So say you were level 10 and you have a wand hit that does 100 damage. If you have no percentage of damage, if you have 0% damage and you cast this spell with a 100 base wand hit, you're going to do 139 on the target because it adds 39 to the spell. So any storm attack that I use will be 39 extra damage, added on to the 116% for any storm attack. So you can do that for any of your school spells. And every school has its own, and there's also jewels that give the universal. I think I have a jewel on me that gives universal damage. It's only level 15, but you kind of get the idea. Plus 3. So if I put this on, I would get plus 3 damage for every school. And then some of the other ones, I have some plus 7 myth, and it's the same thing for all of these. And then defense is pretty much the same way. I have 34% resist across the board, so I'm going to reduce 34% unless they pierce it. And then if I had any additional jewel stats on the bottom here, then it would reduce that amount. So on my life, I think I have 78 for storm. So all it's going to do is reduce whatever storm attack I get hit by 78 damage. So what's interesting about this new mechanic is you can have a lot of resist. Like you can have under 100% resist, like you can have like 98% resist or something like that. And then if you have like 100 to 200 for your jewel stat on resist, you can still be technically immune because you'll reduce the damage enough that it just goes to 0. So you'll be hit with 0. I've seen this happen. You get hit with a attack and it does 0 damage, but it doesn't say that you're immune because you're not immune, but you just reduce the damage enough to go to 0 so it doesn't do any damage, which is pretty cool. So I can see people getting some really interesting kind of stats going on with resistance, and they'll be able to like reduce damage on a ton of attacks to 0. Like I think mostly I've seen storm and fire. I think one person I've seen has like storm and fire, like a ton of this. They have a ton of resist and they have a ton of the stats, the jewel flat stats, and he was able to reduce everything from storm and fire to 0, which is really interesting. I'll probably try to go for something like that on my life. I do have a few jewels for storm resistance. I don't have any fire resistance ones yet, but I was basically going for storm to start off. And yeah, that's basically how these two work. The other jewels are just accuracy percentages. So if you get a jewel for 5% storm accuracy, it just adds 5%. The other ones, critical, are the same. I think, do I have a critical one? Yeah, I have a plain critical amethyst that gives plus 6 crit. That's just the same. I used to have 126, so, or 626. So that jewel added to that. And then I have some storm block, which I don't even know. I just put this on because I got the storm jewel plus 11 storm blocks. That's why my storm block's higher. But basically that's going to be it. I do want to try to get one of these storm piercing jewels because I think you can get like 6% pierce. Like that would be so good if I got 6% pierce for storm. And then there's also ones for power pip. I got a power pip jewel in the test realm for 8%. So there's those as well. And then I think there's a stun resist one. And there's no shadow pip one. And then there's an outgoing heal one that I'm trying to get on my life. And then of course there's also ones for health and mana. I think I'm using a health one. Let me see it. Polished health opal plus 90. So that gives me plus 90 health. So that is basically how the jewel stats work. What they are is a little addition, a little stat gain in the game. I mean, if the jewels were just damage percentages and resist percentages, everyone would have over 100% resist to every school, or at least a lot of schools, and everyone would just have insane damage, like over 120, 130%. I mean, if this was percentage and I had 39% damage, that would just make everything OP. So I'm glad they did it this way. It makes sense. You know, 39 extra damage is not a ton, but maybe it gives you a little edge. Maybe it, you know, it's just a slight stat increase. That's what the jewels are. They're not trying to be I mean, they are game changing, but they're not like crazy game changing. So essentially what these stats are is they're just trying to make your character a little bit better in certain areas that you want, depending on what jewels that you put on your character. So I'm probably going to go for Storm, not really care about resist on my Storm too much, and then I think I'm also going to go for Pierce. So, and then if I can get crit ones, you know, that's fine, but I'm pretty okay with 632 crit that we have right now. So that is going to do it for this video. Hope it helped you guys. If you have someone else that you think would benefit from this and learn, you know, about jewels, then go ahead and send them this video. Let people know, because you know, jewels have changed the game, and they're going to be, you know, applied all the way starting from level 15. So in the walkthrough, when we do level 15, we get to level 15, we can do jewel crafting. You know, jewels will apply there as well. So it really has, you know, completely changed how Wizard 101 stats work. Not drastically, but in a good way, I think. So I'm glad they did it. But that's going to be it for me today. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, if it helped you, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.